Welcome to another episode of Love Living Local 315. We are your hosts, Scott and Kelly Greats, and today we are super excited to have back for the second consecutive year, Matt St. Croix. Matt is the founder and director of CNY Savage, as well as the Utica Downtown Classic, and it is upon us again, December 27th through the 30th. There are 50 teams from all over the state coming in this year. They also have a youth jamboree happening at Mohawk Valley Community College. This is a great conversation with Matt around community and camaraderie and competition. The Downtown Classic is an awesome event, and we're hoping it becomes a staple for many years in the future for Utica. So enjoy this conversation with Coach Matt St. Croix. All right, so Downtown Classic, it's funny. Christmas lights, Christmas tree, snow, Matt St. Croix. Back here, like Santa in the area with Downtown Classic. 27th to the 30th. Talk to us about how many years has it been
with the Downtown Classic?
Yeah.
So this is only year 2.
Oh, I thought last year was year 2.
Nope.
No, okay.
Last year was the first. Last year was the first year. Okay. So that was kind of our trial run, our first opportunity to kind of present the Downtown Classic, and luckily enough people enjoyed it and they really liked it. So we're back for year 2.
I've got to say, we've had a couple of athletes on the podcast, and they love playing there.
It's great.
That is like their most memorable game and experience so far, because it's like huge with just where you're playing. And what inspired you to start it?
Well, I think a different experience, right? A different, game, a different opportunity for some of these teams to play. I did, watch your interview that you had with the young lady from CVA, and I noticed that was her most memorable game, and that's what we're going for. We're trying to create something that's a little bit different, that the community can get behind, that teams enjoy playing there, and that teams can look forward to it. And I think that's what makes, sports so special, especially the high school sports, is memories and things that these kids can say, hey, I really enjoyed playing there. I got a great opportunity to do that. It's a different atmosphere.
Yeah.
I think the high school, gym is great. There's nothing wrong with playing at your local high school. But I think having that kind of has that postseason feel, because you're playing in an arena, you're playing in a bigger venue, and it's just the excitement, the build up. We're trying to build it up and to make it, a special thing. So I'm happy. I'm happy that these, students and that these teams are enjoying it, and we're hoping that we can, keep that going in a positive direction.
Yeah, it really is a well done facility. I mean, you've got the kind of luxury seating. You've got a bar on site. But I say that but it feels like it's kind of like when the kids go for football to the Carrier Dome. It has that next level feel to it. So, what can people expect this year?
So we're building off of the success that we had last year. We had several games that were very well attended and that had that rivalry feel. In particular, we had the Proctor UAS game, which was outstanding energy. It was that rivalry. It was that excitement that people really enjoyed. So we tried to build off of that a little bit. We have all the best teams in the area are playing in it. And every team that we had last year all asked to come back for year 2. So I think that's a good sign, just knowing that all these teams really enjoyed it. The other thing we've tried to do is to promote community games. The way that the Tri-Valley League schedules are set up, the girls and the boys play in opposite gyms on the same night.
Yes.
So it's difficult for some of these programs to support each other. And so, you might have New Hartford boys playing at Proctor, but the girls are playing at New Hartford against Proctor. So they can't support each other. So we have several schools that have agreed to do boy-girl varsity doubleheaders, which I think is a great community thing where they can support each other and really make this a great community event. So we have New Hartford, Whitesboro, Clinton, Holland Patent, West Canada. They've all agreed to do community games, which would be boy and girl doubleheaders. So we're hoping that those are well received. We have some other, very good games. We have New Hartford boys playing West Hill. West Hill was a Final Four team, and they're a traditional, state powerhouse. And so I think that'll be a really, significant game. New Hartford girls are playing Bishop Ludden, which will be an outstanding game as well. We have Niagara Falls playing Rome Free Academy. So we have some very good games to look forward to, but more of the community feel. We want more students to be involved. And I think we're trying to promote it from that end a little bit as well to make this not only a great thing for the teams, which I think it is, but also for the fan base, the students, the schools, the community. We want to have more of that going on this year as well.
There's definitely more of a buzz with it. We have a daughter that plays basketball, JV, and they're very much looking forward to coming and just watching other teams, you know. How far, I mean, you just mentioned Niagara Falls. Like, how many teams do you have and how far are they coming from?
So we have 50 different teams represented. We have 35 games. We have teams from not only locally, which is, you know, obviously our biggest draw, but we also wanted to bring in some teams that maybe these teams don't get a chance to play in the regular season. So we have Niagara Falls. We have as far, you know, east as some Albany schools. We have Saratoga. We have Gloversville. We have Amsterdam. And then we have as far north as, you know, Watertown. We have Sackett's Harbor, South Jefferson. We have Lowville, Carthage. They're all playing in it this year as well. So Utica is kind of the meeting point. We have some Syracuse schools as well. We have Bishop Ludden, Jamesville, DeWitt, West Hill. I mean, I know I'm going to leave somebody out, but
there's 50.
But you can't list all 50.
Yeah, but you know, we're in such a great spot in Utica, and where the Nexus Center is right off the thruway, it's kind of like a central location. So it's a great opportunity for these teams to play that don't always get a chance to play.
Yeah. Location plays into it, but kudos to you and your team, which we can talk about because I'm sure it's not just you putting all this together, for these schools wanting to come here. I mean, you can put together anything you want, but that doesn't mean 50 schools from all over the state are going to want to come here the week after Christmas. So give some shout outs, give some credit to how big is the team, like what goes into this.
Sure. Well, it was Harley Fuller, who is he's the men's coach at Mohawk Valley Community College. We're good friends, and he's played a huge role in this. We've kind of run some tournaments together in the past, and he's from the Albany area. He was an assistant at Siena, and so he has kind of that connection with the Albany area. So we kind of had that idea of, hey, let's try to build something that, you know, really doesn't happen all the time around here, something that's a little bit different. So he's very instrumental in, you know, what we're doing. We talk every day about, you know, ways that we can improve it. And, you know, every step of the way, he's someone that we're always working, you know, together with. And then we've just, you know, tried to surround ourselves with, you know, great people in the community that can help us. Obviously, it starts with the teams. So the relationships that we have here locally with all the local teams, you know, and that sort of thing. So, you know, really that's what we're trying to do, is to get everybody on board, the teams, the officials, the referees. They've all been very instrumental in making this happen. And we're hoping it goes off without a hitch again this year.
Yeah, it's actually a good point. I don't think about the refs, right? There's a lot of games. So are you bringing refs from out of the area too?
So it's all local refs.
Okay.
So we have 2 assigners. We have a women's board for the girls' high school basketball, and then we have a boys' board. And both assigners have been outstanding about, you know, working with us. It's a lot of games to facilitate, especially over, you know, the course of Christmas, you know. So you have that holiday season, and 35 games takes a lot of, you know, juggling by them. So they've been awesome. You know, we got them their schedules in September, and they were able to fill those games pretty quick. So it worked out well.
Let's talk about things that you might do differently this year than last year. Any things come up, mistakes or things you want to change?
I think we're building off of what we did last year, because there was a lot of success. I think there's some day-to-day things that, just from a game management perspective, we can do a little bit better. One thing that we're doing is, like I said, we're trying to get more community games going. I think that adds to the atmosphere a little bit. And then I think the other thing that we're trying to do is we built in a little bit more time this year in between games to, you know, make sure that it runs on schedule, and that, you know, that the teams can, you know, expect their games to go off without a hitch. And I think that's the biggest thing. But just trying to build off of that. And, you know, one of our focuses is trying to get more students involved. Yeah. So we have a youth jamboree that's going on.
Nice.
And we're doing that at Mohawk Valley Community College. MVCC has been, you know, one of our catalysts with this, and we're getting our sports management students involved with the event. So with the youth jamboree, all the students that play in the youth jamboree get an opportunity to go to the games at the Nexus Center for free.
Okay.
So we want more students to be able to take part in that. And I think that adds to the excitement, right?
Sure.
When you have, you know, if you play in the sectional finals at, you know, OCC or wherever you're playing, I know Frankfurt's had a great run in football. You know, that adds to the excitement when you have all your students and all your friends there and all the community. So that's kind of an incentive to, hey, play in this tournament, play in the youth jamboree. You get a chance to be a part of it, and then also support your local high school as well.
Yeah.
So I think
student sections are, you know, at the college, like, you know, I mean, it's part of like recruiting. You think of like Pitt and Duke and the Cameron Crazies, and, you know, it's even at the high school level.
Oh my God, at the high school, we love to sit near the students and just listen to the chants and it is fun. It's not.
Last year we had a game where they all came dressed up.
Oh, the inflatables and whatever. And it was awesome.
It just adds to that experience, right?
Yeah.
That like those like memorable games. And it's great when you can share it with your friends and your family and your community. So that's really what we're going for. And if we can, get some of that student support, I think that'll help to build it as well.
For sure. Let's talk about CNY Savage. So it's been a year since we spoke. What's going on program-wise, growth? What do you have going on with CNY Savage?
So we're still going. We do a lot of our, typical activities that we've been doing for the last few years. Skills Academy. We have a Thursday night gameplay, which is, very, very popular. We're still doing our tournaments. We're still doing all those types of things, but really we're just trying to focus on, ways to get more students involved, right? And more opportunities from the beginning player all the way to the, more advanced player. So, I think we're growing, we're evolving, but we're also figuring out the things that work in the community and, Making that a really good thing.
We were at a tournament, the St. Patrick's Day one last year.
Yeah.
Our daughter played it. Yep. It was run very, very well. How has CNY Savage impacted local youth? Like, what did you hope that kids take away from participating in the program? Besides skill, obviously, but.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, basketball was our, kind of our motivator with that. But I think also, just seeing the students leave with a positive experience, we want them to have fun. My focus obviously was with, I have daughters, right? So I have, 7th grade, 8th grade, then my other daughter's 3. And so giving girls an opportunity to play. But we've also, opened it up to boys too, to make it, a great thing for boys and girls to be able to play. So it's a great thing, moving forward. And I think that's one thing that, there's a lot of different programs out there, but we want them to leave with, hey, they were, they got a chance to be coached. They got a chance to be a teammate. They got a chance to maybe make new friends and to have fun. And I think that's what it's all about.
And I think it's super awesome that these girls, not only girls, but athletes have an opportunity to be coached by someone else. A lot of times they have their varsity coach or their high school coach and they play for them. But then it's so important that you learn how to work with different coaches.
Sure.
And the other thing that I love is Jenna has made friends with people from other towns through playing at CNY Savage or, things like that when they play each other, there's like that, hey, how's it going?
Absolutely. And I think that's important. We ran a program over the summer and we called it Ladies Night, which was the local girls would come in and play and they got coached by local college players. So they were the coaches, they were the, maybe the girls that they looked up to when they were in high school and they're local college players. And we did the same thing with the boys. We called it Thursdays for the boys and we gave them an opportunity to be coached by local college players. Levi Spina was one of our coaches. So it's a great opportunity for them to learn from people that they look up to, from different people, because they hear from their high school coach or their local coach all the time, right? And I think having that opportunity, like you said, to learn from different people is so important, especially people that they look forward to.
It's so funny because our second son is looking at colleges now, and he's undecided if he wants to try to play soccer or not. And we're friends with Perry Nizzi. I don't know if you know Perry, head coach at Hamilton. Yep. And so we called him, and the very first question he asked is, what travel teams did he play on? What club teams? Who else has he been coached by? And, admittedly, we haven't done a really good job of that. but that's, next level of college. And you've been there. They want to know, hey, give me some name brand coaches that have worked with this kid.
Sure.
Personal question, selfishly. So this is something we struggle with. You have 3 daughters.
Correct.
Do you coach them?
So I do.
Okay. How does that go? Because we struggle mightily with, we don't coach, but we try to coach at home and we get fierce resistance.
Oh, well, listen, that's a touchy, subject sometimes. And I got to be honest. I've coached my 2 older daughters. I've coached both of them. My older daughter is in 8th grade. And so I coached her on my team until she was in about 5th grade. And one of my best friends is Rob Schoner. He's the coach at SUNY Poly. His daughter is best friends with my daughter that's in 8th grade. So I gladly kind of turned it over to him so that he could try to coach Lainey a little bit more. And I try to help Haley out a little bit more because kids don't always listen to their parents, but they respond to others. So we try to hey, you got her? Yeah, I got her. So we'll try to help each other that way. And that's just a normal thing for kids. I think that's something that can be difficult. currently I'm an assistant with the varsity at New Hartford, and my daughters are on the JV team. So that's a nice part of that is like, I'm not really coaching them. They have their coach. That's the JV coach. I'm there for support and to help, but it can be hard. It can definitely be difficult. I think it can be positive though too, knowing that you have a chance to share those moments with your kid, if you're coaching them. But in terms of the parent perspective, totally get it. It's hard to balance that.
Well, yeah, because I coached Jenna and her group up until they were in like 6th grade. Yeah. And then I'm like, okay, I kind of want to salvage my relationship with my daughter and not be the coach when there were other people that are interested. But the other thing that I think she appreciates is we have the knowledge to help her. And if she's in that frame of mind where, okay, what can I do better? And if we go at it in that sort of direction, it's more welcome than just me screaming in the stands when she makes a mistake.
Which she does. We're working on that. We're working on that at home too. It's interesting growing up here in the Utica area. And then we went away. We went to college at Fisher, and then we spent some time down in Virginia. And when we had our first son, we moved back home. And it's been awesome to see the evolution of downtown Utica, and just the expansion of it. And really when the Nexus Center came in, the vision was exactly what's happening, basketball and travel hockey and all these different clubs. And so you talk about that sports can be a catalyst for a community. Do you have any specific examples, you personally, of how you've seen people come together or certain moments through all of this growth in Utica?
Yeah, no, I think it's a great thing. And I think it's kind of the common bond that, people have a lot of times. They can be from their own school district. They can be from their own, area. But I think, relationships and the way that you meet people, like you mentioned with your daughter, a lot of times can be through sport. And even if you're from a different area, urban, suburban, rural, sports can be that common bond, right? And I think there's so many things that go on in the world, and not only in our area, but in other areas where there's a lot of differences, right? And I think that sports, can really add that balance where it can bring things together. It can bring communities together. If you just look at the Downtown Classic, we have schools from all over that are from all different areas, right? We have city schools, we have suburban schools, we have, teams from out of the area as well. And that can be that common bond, right? Where you get a chance to have experiences, just based on sport. But it could be other things too, right? It could be music, it could be, concerts, it could be festivals, it could be all that type of stuff that I think adds to, why we love living in upstate New York.
And the central location. I'm going to tell a quick funny story. We were at Accelerate, and that's where you guys host all your CNY Savage things. It's a great facility.
Correct.
We are at a soccer game there in the car. It's freezing. So I'm sitting in the car. They're in the outside field, and all of a sudden I look up and I'm like, is that Steve Torsch? This is a guy we went to college with at Fisher. They live out in Saratoga. I'm like, oh my God, that's Steve. I get out of the car. He's like, what are you guys doing here? I'm like, my daughter's playing. He's like, my daughter's playing. They were playing against each other in the same game. They
traveled in for like a Tuesday night game.
They come every week here because, number one, the competition is great. The facility is fantastic. So it's just funny that we got reacquainted with college friends, not even knowing our girls were playing against each other.
We've had so many examples of that, of like, hey, is your kid playing? And it does allow you the opportunity to connect with people that you don't always get a chance to.
And then it infuses money into the local economy, right? A lot of the people that are coming in will be spending the night, or a couple days. And, our buddy Steve's like, hey, every time I'm here, I got to grab a tomato pie. I mean, people are coming, they're spending money at the restaurants. And
sure.
So let's talk about how people can find you. Let's talk about details. So how do they get tickets to the event?
So the tickets for the event will be, right on our website. It'll also be on the Nexus Center website as well. We're going with the digital tickets. So we'll have a pre-sale that'll start on the 15th of December. That pre-sale will run right through the event. So they can go right on our website, right on the Nexus Center website. They can also get them at the door as well. So we try to make that as easy as possible for people that are trying to attend the event and make sure that they can get a ticket and all that type of stuff.
Ignorant question here, but who works the Nexus Center? Like the employees, who are they working for?
So the Adirondack Bank Arena.
Okay. It's all part of it.
Yeah, it's kind of like all connected together. They kind of
did a great job.
They kind of like mutually, run the facility from what I understand. Yeah.
Favorite moment from a past Downtown Classic last year? Favorite moment?
I think that Proctor, UAS game, we tried to have like the Utica Cup, which we called it, which was the UAS and the Proctor. That was the first time that they had ever played each other, was in the Downtown Classic. and people couldn't believe that they had never played each other. So
I wouldn't believe that either.
So we had both coaches. We had the mayor come out and do the
awesome.
the opening tip, and we just thought that was a great thing. An opportunity for these teams to play. They had never been able to agree on playing, but the community wanted it. The community really wanted to play, and we thought that was a really good thing. So,
what's your vision for this thing?
To be honest, I want to just keep it going in the right direction. We have Strategic Financial has been very instrumental with, helping us do this. Mike and Alan Least and, Alan Sr., they've been tremendous with trying to make this happen, as well as, a lot of the local community as well. Steve Ponte has been very instrumental as well. And we couldn't do this without the local support of, the people that are helping to make this happen. But we want to continue to build on it and to get, to make this something that in the wintertime, people can really look forward to and enjoy. I think we have certain events here, in the area that are like, okay, you look forward to that. It's that weekend, and that's something. And we want, local fans that in the wintertime, this is something that they can plan on every year. And we're hoping that we can continue to do that. And I think year one went well, and we're hoping that year two, we have more of the same success to be able to do that.
Well, you had me convinced it was year three. So
I think you've done it because everybody is highly anticipating it. And it's only,
funny. We were just
second year.
Talking a couple of days ago about Utica staples, right? So we talk about tomato pie, we talk about the greens, we talk about, some people, St. Patrick's Day, it's a big deal. The Boilermaker obviously is a huge one. The teddy bear toss is this weekend. Do you see this becoming something that Utica's known for?
Well, I hope so. I know that those are some very big shoes to be associated with. I hope that people enjoy it, right? And I hope that we continue to be able to build on it. That would be great if there was something that people really associated and they really enjoyed that. We're taking it 1 year at a time, and I think part of it is finding ways to improve it, right? And finding ways to make it better and to make it, more conducive to including everybody to be able to take a part in it. So we're hoping that's going in the right direction, and hopefully this year's just like last year.
Also, you said it quickly, but I want to double down on Strategic Financial because we had Brittany Mexico in, the coach of the MVCC softball team, and they did a whole bunch of summer initiatives for softball, and Strategic Financial was instrumental in that as well. So kudos to them. You got all these people coming into Utica. I'm going to put you on the spot here, and you don't have to pick just one, but someone says, Matt, what should we check out? Where should we? What do we need to do while we're in Utica? What's your list of?
Listen, there's so many great restaurants, and I think that's one thing that people don't always. I think Utica's associated with the food, right? Like when you say, and when I moved here, I'm not from the Utica area, but when I moved here from Watertown, people are like, "You're gonna love the food," right? And I think that's one thing. There's so many restaurants to support. And every different type of food. So I think if you could do that, right? Check out the restaurants, check out all those types of things.
So, one thing that, especially nowadays, really helps promote and get people into the arena is how cool it looks on social, right? Which is kind of funny to say, but it's true, right? Right. And so talk about the media aspect of it and promotion socially.
So that was one of the things that we really had to focus on from the start in trying to make this event different. And Josh Grazade is a local guy, and he does an outstanding job with the social media. And he's actually a former student of mine at MVCC. And so when we had this idea, we were throwing around, who could we get involved to really make this event like top notch and next level? And Josh was the first person that we considered. So that was a slam dunk, like having him involved, just the interest and the viewers and the people that are getting an opportunity to see this. That's helped to promote it as much as anything that we've done.
So let me connect this because we talked about relationships, we talked about connections, we talk about home being home, right? And so we had Josh on as a guest, and he talked openly about having no clue what the hell he wanted to do after high school. Right. And he ended up at MV where he meets you, right? Where he finds his passion for videography and photography and all these other things. And then he chases that passion all over, and now he's down in Austin, but he's flying back for this event.
Correct.
Which is pretty awesome.
It was great. And when I knew that he was out of the area, I was like, hey, any chance you're coming home for Christmas? And he's like, well, if there's a reason to, I can. So I explained to him what we were trying to do. He's like, I'm in. Right away, he was like,
I'm sure his mom's real excited about that too, that she gets to see him a little bit longer.
Right. So he was excited to get involved. And, for year two, we've been talking, every couple of weeks just with like different ideas that we have to try to promote this. And we're excited. We're very happy to have him back for a year too.
So let's talk about businesses, local businesses. I know this year the event is set, but if there are small businesses that would like to sponsor you, or if you'd like to mention any businesses that have been crucial in this event.
So our naming sponsor is Strategic Financial, and Mike Least and Alan Least. They've been outstanding with helping this get off the ground. A huge catalyst with helping this event go in the right direction. Steve Ponte, the Steve Ponte Auto Group, has been outstanding with trying to get this. They actually have the Player of the Game sponsorship. And then we have the Indium Corporation that has been a huge sponsor for us this year as well. But we want to promote all local businesses, right? And give people an opportunity to, really make this something that they can utilize and, something that makes sense for them business-wise. And so with the social media, we've had a lot of views. In the past month, we've had over 100,000 views, just on our Instagram and Facebook. So we're hoping that this can continue to grow. And it's a great opportunity for these businesses to, not only be seen at the event, but also the build up to the event to make this a really good thing. So we're hoping that more communities want to get involved because it is a great thing and, get involved here at the ground level as we're only in year 2. So hoping we can build on this and continue this going in the right direction.
I'm probably going to get myself in trouble here, but as a business owner, as a marketer, as a promoter, I think it'd be cool to do a sponsorship level where a small business sponsors a school that will be there.
Yeah.
And with that comes X number of tickets that they can then donate to students at the school that will attend the event. I mean, do you want to get more kids in the stands?
It's a great idea.
Have the small businesses pay for the tickets.
I love that. I think
you're going to call me next year now, right?
We actually have that. We have that as part of our package, something similar to that, where if they wanted to sponsor a group, they had the hockey tournament at the Nexus Center. I believe it was the World Championships. And they had some local businesses that sponsored students to be able to attend, which I think is a great thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that actually, I'm part of the Frankfurt Kiwanis, right? And our mission is to support the youth in the community. So maybe I'll bring it up for this year. I think that would be, we can buy X number of tickets and send some kids to cheer on. Who's Frankfurt playing?
So Frankfurt is playing Duanesburg.
Okay, yeah.
And then they have a second game, I believe, Dowsville.
Okay.
It's the second game.
If they ever get done playing football. It's the weirdest. We had to push back 3 games already because half the basketball team is still playing football in December, which is bonkers.
Yeah.
They have one more game?
Well, at time of recording, it's this weekend. Which is everyone in the state is finally, Whitesboro is another one that's playing this weekend. So it's monkeys with basketball season, but good problem to have, right?
Oh, for sure. For sure. What an experience.
Yeah. All right. We end all these with our rapid fire 5. We'll let Kelly kick them off.
If you could play a game of one-on-one with any basketball player, past or present, who would it be?
Oh man, that's a tough question. I mean, listen. Michael Jordan was my, GOAT, I guess you could say. I think there's always that discussion of who's the greatest, and he was the best when I was, growing up. So
I don't know if there's a discussion, but there is.
We agree with you on.
But we're from that same era. But you bring up Jordan. Recently, obviously, Mike Tyson got back in the ring, and that was a whole thing. Jordan's about 60. I think he is 60.
Yeah.
Could he compete with the guys today?
I don't know. I mean, listen, he's old. I don't know if he could do that. But I'll tell you what, if he was playing on one-on-one, I think Netflix would be interested in that.
As if he needs the money.
If somebody wanted him to play one-on-one. So,
who's the most entertaining player or coach you've ever worked with or coached against, and why?
Entertaining. Geez. So I had a player a couple of years ago. His name was Jordani Cuevas Marte. He led us to the national, championship game, and he was so fun to watch. Somebody that I really enjoyed coaching, and one of my favorites. But there's been so many players, that we've come across that have, had the opportunity to work with.
We had a conversation this morning. Too funny.
Our son didn't know.
He didn't know who Bobby Knight was.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm like, Connor, how do you not know who Bobby Knight is?
Well, he's dead.
Well, I'm just saying, that's how old we are. Anyway, that's funny you asked that question. Which is better, the NCAA tournament or the NBA playoffs?
So I do like the NBA, but I think the NCAA tournament is so awesome.
Best advice you've received from a coach or a mentor?
That one, I think surround yourself with great people, right? I think I know it sounds cliche, but that's such a good piece of advice, right? You want to surround yourself with people that make you better and people that allow you to be the best, version of yourself. I think that's the best advice you can give anybody is pick your friends wisely.
Yep.
All right. Why should people attend the Downtown Classic December 27th to the 30th?
Well, I just think for entertainment, for a great experience, for an opportunity to support your team or your program or your school, it's just a great thing to be able to, take a part in. And we'd love to have people attend.
Matt St. Croix, CNY Savage, and Downtown Classic, among other things, Mohawk Valley Community College, which we talked about a little bit, a huge supporter of this event, and hope everyone attends. We'll be there again this year.
Yep, thanks.
Great having you.
Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Love Living Local. As you know, we do not run ads. Our only mission is to shine a spotlight on amazing people doing amazing things here in our local community. If you'd like to support us with this mission, we have 3 ways you can help. You can share our content on social, subscribe or follow the show on your favorite podcast platform, and you can visit our lovelivinglocal315.com website to stay up to date with everything happening in Central New York.